Good evening and welcome to the Downers Grove Township regular monthly meeting of the Board of Trustees on November 21st, 2019 at 7:30 p.m. Residents will have an opportunity to speak during public comments. At this time, I'd like to join everyone to join me and stand in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Clerk Grimsby, can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Dodd.
Present.
Trustee Ferguson. Present. Supervisor Tolman.
Present.
And I will note that Trustee Kelly and Vanderlaan are absent.
Thank you. We do have a quorum. At this time, I'll entertain public comments. I'll defer first, if it's okay, to Assessor Gregory Bolts, who has a report for us on activities across the hall.
Yes, thank you, Supervisor Tolman. Just wanted to stop in for a moment, give you a little bit of an update on where we're at with things. This is a general reassessment year, so last week there were 58,000 notices that were mailed out by the DuPage County, which is done annually for all counties except for 2 in the state, Cook County being one of them. They do it on a 3-year cycle, but the rest of the counties in the state are on a 4-year cycle, which is called the general reassessment. So we being the, I believe, the 3rd largest assessment district in the state, they had 58,000 notices that went out for us. So we had a lot of activity. Quite a bit of that activity, especially on Monday, was a lot of seniors coming in with lots of questions on senior exemptions and senior freezes and things like that. We did have a unique thing. Our notices are also posted in the paper, in 3 papers in the township. And one of those postings that was done by the county was done in the Doings newspaper, and they actually posted our starting time was 8 o'clock in the morning. So we get that after they've already posted it, so we noticed that when we got the email late in the week last week. So I did have the team come in early, so we were actually staffing the office since a little before 8 o'clock every day this week to see. We didn't have a lot of people coming early. We just wanted to make sure in case people showed up that we were available for them. So we were there, so I guess from Monday morning on, we've been in before 8 o'clock in the morning, make sure if they showed up, our normal hours are 8:30. And people have been here late every night this week working on making sure we could call back customers, call back residents and follow up with them. So volume has been high, and we're working with everybody and making sure we can call our residents back and respond to emails as fast as possible. And we'll continue to do that. There's a 30-day period that will end on December 16th. And that's where the window where people have to file appeals, and we're working to get back to residents with their questions as fast as humanly possible. I still have some people working right now, and that's where I'm heading back to as soon as we're done here, to go back and keep responding to emails and questions that residents have for a little while tonight. And we'll be back in it tonight and over the weekend and taking care of our residents. If there's any questions anybody has, I'll be happy. I know it's public comment, I'll be happy to answer, but yes.
Do you have more calls this year than last year, would you say?
There's quite a bit more calls, because again, this is a general reassessment, so this is the only time, once every 4 years, every single parcel owner in the township, which we are, like I say, the 3rd largest assessment district in the state, so all 58,000 parcel owners got notices. So yes, call volume, email volume, tech, all kinds of activity is up through every mechanism to reach us right now is up in volume. And a lot of it, I'm surprised, it's my first general assessment time. A lot of it were seniors. They get the notice, and especially first-time qualifiers for the senior exemptions. The form has the notice has whether you had the senior exemption last year, so it says yes or no. So everybody that applied for it this year, and they think they're getting it, it says no. It says N. So they're like, hey, I don't have it. What's going on? And so we had a lot of those questions and stuff. And seniors are known to get right on it the first thing in the morning. So we had there were a couple times that we had lines out the door and out into the parking lot and stuff. And I want to thank. I know we had some overflow. Supervisor Tolman got some emails and he forwarded them over right away. I know Chris West was helpful. She got some emails and stuff. So everybody in the entire building was very helpful to help with the volume that was flowing through. And I think that some people that had some more experience over the years, I think Chris has been through this a few times as well. They've been, Gary, everybody was very helpful to help steer traffic and keep just going through it and helping to answer questions as fast as we could. And we'll keep doing it. And everybody's kept a smile. And I really had very few people that showed anything but positive.
So Greg, for the record, I mean, individuals can just walk in Do you tell them to set up an appointment with them then, or do you try to encourage everyone just to set up an appointment so you don't have 100,000 people?
You know, what happens is if they call us, you know, we try to do our best to answer the questions on the phone, so they don't have to actually come in. You know, so much with electronics these days we can do over the phone, and if they have a lot of the questions, if it's like, you know, somebody has a sale or something, a lot of it we can handle, you know, right over the phone, we can do via email. Some of the times there's a lot of stuff we don't even have to actually even talk to people. We can get them the information, you know, if they have a request, we'll give them the information, email it to them, and they'll look at it. We can come back via email and answer it. If it's a question about an exemption, we can handle it over the phone. If they come to the door, we do our best to handle them right there.
Wow.
And something, you know, so we really, I want to do the best to make sure they don't have to come back twice. So, and a lot of people stop by unannounced, and you know what, that's part of the customer service, or resident service, I guess you should say, constituent service, whatever the right word is, but we do our best.
Even along lines, people have been in good nature
Yeah.
and polite, so it speaks well for the citizens of the township.
Yeah, and people have been pretty positive over there. We've had, again, everybody, I think, you know, the entire office has been in, I think, you know, pretty much, you know, early, and most of them have been staying until after 7 o'clock at night, and a lot of them, I still, like I say, still have people over there now, so unless anybody has any other questions, I'm gonna pop back over and
That's it.
keep returning out emails. Thank you.
Thank you, Assessor Bowles.
Thank you. See you. Bye.
Next up is, anybody else have any public comments? Move on to item number 5. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the board meeting from October 17th?
I'll make a motion to approve the board minutes.
And that's 2019 is presented.
Yes, from October 17th, 2019.
I will second that motion.
I'll note in the minutes that the resident Hank Boger had asked for assistance on an issue of overgrown brush, and that we got, the road department got buried by the ice storm that happened, and they're just about done with that, and we're looking for Andy and his road crews to address that issue of overgrown brush as soon as they're done with their emergency pickups. And with that, I'll ask for all in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next is a motion to approve the trustee audit and approval of bills and claims as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
So sorry.
You're reminding me to turn mine off.
I have not had that happen in ages.
The motion passes, thank you. Moves to item number 7, can I get a motion to approve the PACE contract for calendar year 2020 as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve the PACE contract for the calendar year 2020 as presented.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? With that, I'll ask for a roll call vote on this item.
Okay, trustee Ferguson,
Aye.
trustee Donner,
Aye.
supervisor Tolman,
Aye, motion carries, thank you. Next is item number 8, can I get a motion to adopt the 2021 levy request for Downers Grove Township Road District as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Any comments you'd like to add to that, Andy?
Just that we levied for 4.9%. Historically, we usually get between 1.2 and 3.2%. And 46% of what I levy for goes back to the 9 villages and towns in the township.
Which I'm painfully aware of, I signed the checks. Yeah, it's, you know, I noticed that stone and asphalt have not gotten cheaper
No.
again.
No.
That seems to be a pretty standard thing.
And
but,
salt went up this year too.
Yeah, so, well, keep up the good work, and with that, I'll ask for a roll call vote on adopting.
One last question. Andy, with the snow coming earlier, are they calling for the money earlier than usual?
Actually, we're still working on last year's amount, but everything says it's gonna go up to about $14, I think, a ton more. So,
Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries.
and we had some left over from last year's.
Oh, good.
We just put our first order and we're waiting for that.
Good deal. Any other questions for Andy? Roll call vote, please.
trustee Donner,
Aye.
trustee Ferguson,
Aye.
supervisor Tolman.
Aye, motion is adopted. That brings us to number 9, a motion to approve the Blue Cross Blue Shield Health and Guardian Insurance contract for full-time township employees to be administered by USI, the USI One Advantage as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Is there any discussion on this item? We caught a break on our rate increases again this year, and Guardian did not increase at all, so everything's good. For right now, I'll ask for a roll call vote on this item.
Trustee Ferguson.
Aye.
Trustee Donner.
Aye.
Supervisor Toman.
Aye, motion carries, thank you. Next is item number 10, motion to approve Whipfly as auditors for fiscal year ending February 29th, 2020, fiscal year ending February 28th, 2021, and fiscal year ending February 28th, 2022.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
This is a series of 3 one-year agreements that must be renewed annually with authorizing letters for services. We went with a 3-year combination so that we got a better price on the auditor services. With that, I'll ask for a roll call vote on this item.
Trustee Donner.
Aye.
Trustee Ferguson.
Aye.
Supervisor Toman.
Aye, motion carries, thank you. Next up is a motion to approve resolution 2019-1121-1, Downers Grove Township 2020 holiday schedule as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
We're trying to copy and stay as close to the county as possible on this, and we'll post up the holiday schedule after it is approved. And at this point, I'll ask all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, thank you. Let's see, item number 12, motion to approve resolution 2019-1121-2, that should be, excuse me, Downers Grove Township 2020 Board of Trustees meeting schedule as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
This is, again, establishing the third Thursday of each month at 7:30 p.m. as the time for our Board of Trustee meetings. I'll ask for a voice vote on this. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Supervisor's report. I attended the Township Officials of Illinois conference in Springfield last weekend. I got some very good information on senior services that will help us as we move forward with the building project. We have made some changes in cooperative meetings with the village that hopefully will lower the cost of the building and the compensatory storage a little bit. They've finished their traffic studies and will be making some additional improvements to the intersection down here at Sherman and Prince to help the students be safe crossing the road there also. That's what I have for supervisor's reports. Is there any old business? Seeing there's none, is there any new business? Seeing there is none, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you. Any opposed? We are adjourned. Our next regular Downers Grove Township meeting will be held on Thursday, December 19th, I believe, at 7:30 p.m. Thank you and good night.